streaming, Nate? Now, just between me, we can save this, we can stream it, we can do whatever we want. I'm mostly getting language from you. Now, some of you will listen in, some of you won't. That's okay. But how many pictures do I want tagged by the end of the day? At least 20 from each of you. Thank you, Braxton. We running? I feel like I'm the same height as you here. 1:37. Is that enough time? Can you hear Q? I want to be in it too. There we go. Q, scoot just a little bit that way. There we go.
Come over, be my friend.
Be my friend. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Nate, are you running?
Yeah.
Principal Q, Principal Quarnberg. It's good to have you here. Thanks for being on the podcast. Now, from start to finish, or from wherever we have left off, if somebody were to come to you, Todd, what would be your TED Talk of the year?
You know, for the year, it's changed for me. I'm trying to learn what
because I've got to make sure that she has the capacity to teach, to take care of the kids. So I'm learning what my job is and how do I help. How do I help teachers knowing that
it's heavy? Because if I don't take care of the teachers, the kids don't get taught. And there's no secret. The social emotional health of our students right now is at risk, right? Not across the board, but there's risk involved. I always feel like when I ask a teacher, is your glass half full or half empty? You know, the stereotypical half full or half empty. And I walk around and I think the glasses are probably 1/2 inch from the rim and about to flow over. So somebody better start running around this building and taking sips or drinks out of those cups so that they don't overfill and flow over. Is that my job? Could be, but it's your job, it's his job, it's the student's job. I think we need to start trusting each other and looking at the capacity, because we come in here and do our jobs and we're in one of the most difficult jobs out there. We have students that we lose, not just social emotional health, suicide and depression, but academically. We have immigrant students in here who can't speak English. And what's my job? Because their parents are working 2 jobs. What's their capacity? Why do they keep coming back? It's a it's a full load. So, yeah, I'm running around here trying to take sips out of people's glasses and hoping that everybody else is doing the same. Teachers need to take care of teachers. There's not any one position here that's more important than the other when it comes down to taking care of each other. But when I say that, I better listen to myself too. It is my job, and it's something that I'm not going to take lightly. I think we need to, look at our glasses and make sure that they're a healthy half full. But I think we need to watch each other closely. In fact, so I'm a poet, right?
Of course, I love it.
And you,
Hey, listen up. Q's about to drop some poems on us. Q is a poetry slam, self-authored poet. I love
there
it.
you go. So I just wrote a poem, and this is really personal, and it's a risk.
Is it the one I've listened to?
Nope.
Okay.
So it's about myself and my own capacity and what I'm able to manage. And it goes like this. It's called Out of the Closet. So have you ever been on an open range at the beginning of the fall? There is no destination I'd rather take just to hear the silence call. I close my eyes and I feel the cool air as leaves become bright red. But the stress of keeping this lie to myself has crippled me in bed. Have you ever felt you were alone on a path that's not your own? Or have you ever felt the danger that your life might be out on loan? I have. I'm coming out of the closet to express myself to the world, but the risk of taking this first step feels like my life will come unfurled. How will I be treated when the secret is no longer my own? Maybe I'll stay in the closet and continue life alone. No one will understand the weakness this disease can cause. They simply believe it's a choice I've made, and you can't put your life on pause. So I open the door of the closet and I step out on level ground and I scan the world before me to see if anyone else is around. I see the open bottle on the top of my dresser drawer, and it's not as full as it used to be, but I'm hoping there is more. Please, God, don't let anyone know until I'm ready to come fully out. I'm not ready to tell anyone what my weakness is all about. I feel the weight in my chest when I wake up every day. Will I make it to the shower and live this lie another day? Sometimes I've failed getting my body out of bed. I know the day I have before me is another day I dread. I reach for the open bottle and take one precious pill. Then I force myself to lift my head and hope my world will still. I'm sorry, Mom, I didn't understand we share the same disease. So I'm coming out of the closet hoping my example for others in stress can be eased. I have anxiety. There you have my secret. So judge me how you will, but at least I have the guts to admit that I'm proud to take a pill. It's okay. Don't be shy. Have the guts to look people straight in the eye, because every day for the rest of your life, there's no burden of a lie. And I think it's time for us to be honest with ourselves. We walk around smiling like we're okay, but we're never really dealing with the stress and issues. And I've lived that. I have been to a point where I knew if I hesitated to get into the shower, I wasn't going to make it here. And it's time to start being honest with each other, because we all have our demons out there: depression, sleeplessness, anxiety, so many other things. And if we walk around in life pretending that everything's okay, I think that burden just weights you down to a point that there's no way out. There is a way out. And if my example in a poem like that to tell you that I've experienced anxiety,
Yeah.
then I hope it's okay for everybody else to start making those same admissions. And in our society, it's always been a weakness to admit something like that, and especially the principal. I mean, I can imagine people saying, "Oh my hell, did you know the principal has anxiety? Do we really trust him? Is he fit to do the job?" Because he said sometimes it's difficult to get out of bed.
Big deal.
But I think we all have our demon. And if we don't let each other know what it is, then we can't help. And now I know what mine is. And my job will be to help others get through their own demons and be understanding when something pops up. Because they've told me that Mr. So-and-so is going through a divorce and is depressed, and they're 15 minutes late. I'm glad I know. Certainly can't make a habit of it, but I know, and it's going to be okay, because they're dealing with a lot right now. And I think student to student, get to know your friends, get to know your peers, determine what their capacity is. There's some that can handle more than others. And so just because I say to me, to myself, is that all they're dealing with? What's the big deal?
Get over it. Yeah.
In their life, their capacity, it's already full. So who am I to judge them? Because what I think is a small thing is a small thing. When in reality to them, it's a big, let's not make assumptions about people. Let's look at their capacity. And I think it's important for us every day to look at the capacity of what we're able to handle and help. I've constantly said, look at that glass. I don't know anybody in life now that's glass is only half full or half empty. It's full. There's one other thing I want to tell you. I think the other thing that maybe a lot of people don't understand about teachers and public educators and support staff, custodians, is I remember in 2020 when we were in the heat of COVID, and in New York at the shift changes, people would grab pots and pans and bang the hell out of pots and pans till it filled the city, so that every healthcare worker knew that the world supported they were going into danger. Because COVID was such a
unknown.
Yeah, and it was killing people.
Yeah.
We didn't have vaccines or anything at the time. And now I look back and I think, looking back, I wish I'd have grabbed my own damn pot and pan. And every time an educator walked into a school, I should have been banging that damn pot and pan, because it's life-saving. Because not only were we dealing with COVID, but our patients don't get cured and leave. We lose patients to death. Our patients that are weak keep coming back again and again and are asking for the same type of help. My job in particular, if you think I'm only responsible for the academics of this school, you're sadly mistaken. The educator's job has certainly evolved. And so I truly wish I'd have grabbed the pot and pan. And then when kids turn 18 or they hit their senior year, we hope they catch their wings and fly, and then we know that we've done a good job, and we have to live on that. But what is our capacity? COVID was hard. Running 2 curriculums, teaching face-to-face and then having a class on Canvas. It deserved recognition. It deserved that pot and pan bang. and we still do. I pray for the future teachers and educators because this job is not easy. It's a hell of a lot harder than it was when I was younger and when I taught. And I need the very best going forward. I'm always telling students, if you have an interest in teaching, I need the very best and the brightest. And those that are looking for more than teaching science, English, math, and business. I'm looking for those people that can form relationships and can help. And be honest with your own feelings. You know, back to mine, anxiety. So now the world knows. Now the world knows. So what?
Does it make you more
now
anxious?
You know. No, it makes me feel honest. It makes me feel honest. And I'm not afraid. In fact, it's interesting. I read this poem to my direct supervisor, district office, because we were talking about the pressures of the job. And I said before, this is a risk for me, because is he going to say I'm unfit? Is he now overly concerned that I'm not managing the building well, right? Mm-hmm. So I read that poem, and as soon as I was done, I knew I was okay. And the reason why is because I could see behind his eyes that he had his own demons, that he related to that. And so I think he left with an understanding of being familiar, and not one of judgment. So I think just flat out honesty is healthy. I know how I get help. I hope others will, and we need to not judge. We need to encourage people to find their strength within themselves and move forward, and take everybody you can with them.
How has, the one question I asked Jesse is, how has teaching changed?
And I think it goes back to exactly what I said at the very beginning. When I taught, I was a science teacher, and my job was to challenge students about science. I love making quizzes, and I love talking about plate tectonics and space, and I love biology. And it's changed. It's not about science, math, and English. It is. Do I care about our school score statewide, state average? Hell yes, I do. I'm a competitor. But now the job has changed to where I'm getting Safe Utah calls. Those are coming in to us. They're not coming to the police or the EMT. They're coming to us. And so we need to have the strength to man those. Yeah. And then you know what we do? We go to the teacher and say, hey, watch that kid. Why? Struggling. Well, what do you mean by that? Well, here's the truth. If you see anything, let us know. Yeah. And so now teachers walking around on pins and needles. Is he okay? Is he okay? Is he okay? I hope he's okay. That didn't even cross my mind when I was a teacher. That wasn't part of my job. Yeah. It wasn't even part of the way I thought. And where are we now? Yeah, I'll tell you where we are.
Relationships, right? A little bit more than just the...
I will hire a teacher based on their ability to form quality professional relationships. And here's the risk. And if they can teach math, science, and English along the way, that's a bonus. And I'm not telling you everybody agrees with that. But I think that's the way I think. And anybody that walks away from hearing this saying, well, Quarnberg doesn't care about the academic standards, then you don't know me very well. Yeah. I'm a competitor, and believe me, if another school is outscoring me, we're going to fix it.
Yeah, we're coming for it.
Yeah. So I don't think I want people to believe that you have to choose one over the other, but you ask the question, what's different? It's that. It's, we are now more responsible for the socio-emotional health of our kids.
It's interesting you say that because Jesse mentioned the same thing. You know, there's a professional relationship that's needed more than there was.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right.
From the student to the teacher, and understanding that not every kid is going to just pick it up from day 1 to day 30, but there's going to be ups and downs with that kid where they're sleeping that night. Did they get enough to eat the day before? That stuff I had never anticipated I'd see.
But you know, I think it's important for students today to understand too that now you know my weakness. Can they help me? Can they check on me? Absolutely. Am I approachable? What if they come up to me and say, hey, Mr. Quarnberg, you okay? I'm okay. I mean, you can read me. Students know if I'm stressed. If I'm at a ball game and we lose, the kids know I'm stressed. If there's behavior issues, they know I'm stressed. I'm an open book. So, yeah, I can help kids, but teachers and students can help me because I'm going to tell you what my capacity is. The level of my glass, it's right up there. It's right up there. But why am I still in this business and why am I not complaining? It's this, because I'm hopeful for a brighter tomorrow. I'm hopeful for the success of this next generation. This generation is a lot better than I was when I was their age. Their capacity to serve others. We're going into this Hearts of Gold Christmas season, and these kids do things that wouldn't even have crossed my mind when I was their age.
They're awesome, yeah.
Earning $150,000 and donating it. I'm
Unheard
telling
of.
you,
Yeah.
the only thing I worried about when I was in high school is what new clothes I was going to get.
Who
And
the cutest person was.
right. It's a better generation, for sure. And what keeps my glass from overfilling is I'm really hopeful and pleased with this generation. It keeps me getting out of bed and getting to that damn shower.
It's a powerful thought, Q, because there are days when I wake up and I wonder, 20 years of this?
Right.
You know, and that's not I don't think that's a sign of you make a decision based on a week of that or a month of that, maybe even a year of that, but consciously you got to get to the next step.
But you know, as a principal too, I can't have you losing your family. I can't have these kids buy out of their family to a point where they're so depressed and things aren't going well at home. I worry about the student government kids during Christmas time and all that effort they put into it. I've got to watch. We've got to watch each other, because I know there are days that you think, how in the hell am I going to get to school today? Because last night, kids drove me nuts, and I was up all night trying to put things together for class today and for FBLA competition. And I don't want to let those kids down, but can I really do it? But you know, the one thing I know about you is I look at your department and I know that your department takes care of each other.
Yeah.
Very strong.
department, yeah.
You rely on each other and you read each other. And you can take sips out of each other's glasses so it doesn't flow over. And I ain't joking about that. I see it in your department. And I think a lot of the other departments are very similar. We're making a mistake if we're not looking at each other to see where we are. Our future depends on it. Okay.
End it there. Do we get the audio, Nate?